friends, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you a little bit about my Hills and Valleys journal book. So as you know, I love to journal, I love to write. I had this idea of making one related to my ups and downs, my sweets and sours, things that happen in my days or in my weeks. And I thought it would be another way to fill up an empty book. So here's just a regular notebook, and it's got ring pages. I like this shape because it kind of shows the highs and the lows. So I wanted to just take you along as I work on it. I've already printed out the cover with a title that I've chosen, and then I wrote myself a little rhyme related to this that says, "The beauty of life isn't just in the heights, but in the climb from valleys through days and nights. Each step I take, whether low or high, shapes my soul to reach the sky." So I wanted this to be like a little reminder that it's okay, the highs and the lows, the hills and the valleys, it's all part of making me who I am and preparing me for the next steps. And I didn't want to just forget about the difficulties, the challenges in my life. I think they're all for a purpose. So I'm using this little book to remind me of that, and also as a way to just maybe let them go and to realize that I don't have to control them all. I don't have to try to handle the situation, the difficult emotions. It's enough to just be aware of them, to acknowledge them, to embrace them. And me writing them down, journaling about them, is the way I can embrace and accept them, even if they're difficult. So what I did is I just painted a few pictures, all related to hills and valleys, and of course I added some pretty flowers and some things from nature. So once I found the book that I wanted to use for this, I made myself some pictures in that shape. And I also wrote myself some quotes reminding me of the hills and valleys in my life and what they're for, what they're about. And then I even went on to write a little one about each season. Then I collected all my pictures, one of each season, and then I couldn't stop. So I continued making more of them. So I have a few that I can choose from, and all my journals, all my notebooks, you know that some way they have to look beautiful for them to be attractive, for me to want to write in them and continue them. So I've had other notebooks before. I've had other little routines or practices related to my highs and lows. You might remember one, I called it Moving Clouds. That one was also about acknowledging the difficulties, acknowledging the challenges, and then moving beyond that towards what do I want? How do I want to feel? I had created these little pages, and the dark cloud was things that I want to let go of, to release. And then the bright, beautiful, puffy cloud is I welcome in, I focus on, I want to feel. And then I would just write down those things in my life that I was going through. So sometimes I needed to write one every day. I needed to let go of some difficulties, some difficult emotion. This is really what helped me handle some very difficult things in my life. And I had made it a little comic strip about it, how I used it, what my thought process was going on, making this little journal for myself. And I think taking the time to really feel into them is one way to allow them to be, and then they make their way gently out of our mind and make up space for what we really want to feel. So this is kind of like the same concept, I guess, but I'm just picturing it differently with the hills and the valleys. I like to have mind pictures like that, and once in a while I think it's good to change them, to alter them. So this is another way for me to challenge myself by changing some things around in my journals, and of course making them beautiful. So I think I'm just going to start cutting out some of these pages. So let me know if you would like these, and I can make them available to you. I guess making them related to the seasons, winter, spring, summer, autumn. I wanted it to kind of remind me as well that there are seasons in my life There might be seasons where there's more difficulties and more dark spaces, more times I hit bottom. I hit those valley points. And then there'll be times in my life where I feel like I'm soaring, I'm flying. And that's not a bad thing, because those difficulties, those valleys are what teach me. It helped me to get back up again. So I think I'm going to just organize my pictures. So here's spring when everything is so nice and green, summer, autumn, winter. So I love doing these little journals and beautifying them during my little quiet times. I call them my artist dates. I think we all need our little getaway moments. This is apart from my journaling time. This is more like my playtime. So if you don't want to paint your own, you can also find some online. You could use photographs if you wanted, and that's one way you can use your photos in a beautiful and meaningful way. I use nature pictures because nature has a way of speaking to me and encouraging me. It's always teaching me, telling me something. Here are the quotes that I wrote for myself. How I'm going to use these. I could either scatter them again around my journal, or I'm thinking I laid them out in a way that they could even fit on top of the pictures. So that's the fun of it. This is how I enjoy my little playtimes. I don't have it all figured out. And then as I read each quote, I kind of see where it could fit with which picture. I let myself be guided. I think we need more spaces in our lives where we just allow things to happen, take place in a wonderful, gentle way. There's already enough in our lives that we have to control or that we have to get done. So this is my little time. This is my happy place to just let it be. Each quote can go with any picture. But sometimes, you have those things calling out to you. You can't always explain why it does, but it just does. There's a lot of that about art, about journaling. So I'm kind of looking forward to using this book, because as of late, there's been a lot happening, a lot of ups and downs in my life, a lot of emotions. I'm going to maybe divide up my book into 4 for the 4 seasons. I don't have this planned out, so bear with me. And again, half and half again. It doesn't have to be exact or perfect. And page number doesn't really matter. And now, because I have 3 pictures of each season, I can divide each one up into 3 again. Kind of easy and nice to do this with a ring book because of this. So if I'm starting with summer, I will already put my autumn here, winter here, and spring here. And then I can even already close up my book. So what I could do is just use that and then cut out summer. My little quote on summer. So it says, "Summer's warmth reminds me to soak in the light, even when life's challenges cast shadows. Every hill I climb reveals a sun-soaked horizon." So I'm really reminding myself of the beauty and the warmth and the light of summer, but neither forgetting about the challenges and the shadows, because that's part of life. And then I can just cut out. Of course, you can write these. I write a lot, so this time I figured, I'm just going to print them out. You know what your creativity needs in the moment. So you know me. I need to add some doodles. I love the mix of paintings and doodles. And then within this, I have 2 other pictures, so I can also just find the middle, kind of randomly put these in place here, and then see how I want to do it. I kind of like having things the same throughout, but also not leaving myself tied to that. Do little different styles. And then I like to sometimes take ideas from the picture too. So I'm seeing this little leaf here, just to add some variety. Life's valleys carve out space within me for greater joy, while the hills give me a panoramic view of the journey's beauty. Both are necessary for a life fully lived. The beauty there is in both, embracing the hills and the valleys, the ups and the downs. I'm not going to take you along the whole thing. It might be a little boring, but you kind of get the idea. In the ebb and flow of life's hills and valleys, I learned to appreciate the simple beauty of a steady path, knowing that each rise and fall has its purpose. I like this one. The hills remind me that I'm capable of soaring. The valleys remind me that my strength is found in the depths. So it's found in checking in, going within, going deep. I love that because that's something that I'm learning, and that's what I love about journaling. It helps me to go deep and to go into that depth, even sometimes the depths of pain and sorrow and grief. There's a purpose and there's a strength that comes from it. So I'm not going to belittle that. I know with everything that's happened lately, strong, heavy emotions, it's definitely strengthened me in many ways, which I'm grateful for. So I'll continue with the next ones on my own, if you want to do your own as well. And the last thing I wanted to do is kind of give you an example of how I'm going to use this. So first of all, I really like the size of this book, that it was tall, so I could put my highs here and my lows here. But then I thought of, that's going to be a lot to write here and a lot to write here. So I decided I'm just going to use one a day and put my highs up here and put my lows here. So I'm going to write the date. Today is August 22. And I'm just going to make a line here in the center. You can make a pretty design if you want or not. And I'm going to start writing my highs and my lows. What's coming out? What am I feeling right now in the moment? And I'm just going to write them down. I'm going to try to use expressive words, feeling words, because I know that really helps me to acknowledge them, to embrace and accept them. It's okay if you have to start with the lows sometimes. I very often have to start on the low list, and then I write here what I want to feel. Sometimes I even like to underline the feeling word. It helps to emphasize it even more and let it out. It's funny that as I'm starting to write these, all of a sudden there's some highs that are coming up for me right in the moment. So this one I wrote, loneliness, having my kids far from home this summer, but I'm so happy, thrilled that they're coming home soon. So that's the wonderful thing about this little journal. You kind of just let it all out, ups and downs, goods and bads, sours and sweets, and it happens. And after this, you will notice a change in your mood, a change in your emotional well-being. I can't tell you how amazing it works, even this little tiny routine. I'm thrilled, I'm excited. And I'm feeling so proud. I notice that when I start doing my highs, I kind of get on a roll, and it's hard to stop. So these are just some of the things that are coming right now as I'm thinking about this. And it's okay if you still have space. It's okay if you don't finish it. Maybe throughout the day, you'll have some others that are kind of on your mind and you want to get them out of your head. So come and continue it here. And then if you need more than one page, that's fine too. That's what this whole book is for. So maybe I'll pop by in a little bit and show you how it's going with this book. But I just wanted to give you that idea, that inspiration, if it's something that you would like to start and try out with me. I'd love to hear from you what you think about it. I'll see you next time because I have lots more videos related to some of the journal ideas that I'm doing, that I've done, or that I'm going to continue and maybe beautify even more. If you want to come on this journey with me of challenging yourself to use some of your empty notebooks. I love doing this together with somebody else because it kind of motivates me even more. So please let me know your ideas and your inspirations on how you use your books. See you soon in the next video.